Buenos días, amigos. Gracias por su apoyo. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy vivo, estoy bien. Gracias a Dios por otro día, por supuesto. I need to speak to my viewers about caffeine. I am not comfortable making this video. Thank you for appreciating that. And thanks to those that have been able to increase their interest in their own honest, true health as a human being. You're helping yourself. Los amo a todos. I used to be addicted to caffeine and now I'm not. 8 cups of coffee was nothing to me. Now, I drink about 1.5 cups of coffee a day. Most of my consumption is in the early part of the day. And I am going to explain how I use coffee before this video is over, which I don't expect you to take seriously. But if you can, it could be very useful perspective to even accumulate your own way of using the information respectfully, because I don't expect you to live the way I do. I don't expect anybody to, but the information is so real. Gracias nuevamente por su interés. Caffeine is used very abusively to the human body in 2022. If an individual drinks a heavily caffeinated beverage, it does legitimately give you an energy burst, but it's kind of false energy. It is false energy, unless it's naturally occurring, like in a natural black coffee bean. Well, that caffeine is a different kind of caffeine. The earth made that caffeine. Now, the caffeine that's in a lot of the energy drinks and a lot of the other things, which I don't want to mention because I know people love their fucking energy drinks as they tear their stomachs apart. But now, if an individual uses caffeine for that burst, you can. And the more pure form of caffeine, the less damage it'll do to you. But if you're comfortable with using the harmful caffeine as that boost, your body needs energy, but your body needs food energy. So if you do that, you are going to get the boost, like I said, but you're also going to get the crash. If you're okay with having another one for that energy, you will survive. You will do whatever you wanted to do. And yes, you can do that. You will crash again. And your body still needs food. And you can use that same energy drink again. And you will get that boost that you want. I'm not denying any of that. You're also not getting any food nutrition whatsoever and pumping your body full of a harmful amount of a harmful caffeine compulsively and irresponsibly. And you're allowed to live that way. Go ahead. I suggest you take it seriously. The levels of caffeine that the general public consider to be okay are given to us by the same individuals that give us McDonald's and Burger King and inject shit into our food and give us all that stuff. The same people are deciding that that caffeine level is perfectly all right, and so the general public thinks it's all right. It's not. And caffeine addiction, when you're extracting a caffeine addiction, a lot of the times it presents itself as a headache. It's my understanding, from my experience, the headache will appear more to the forehead. And as soon as you drink that coffee, that headache's going to go away, like by the time that coffee's gone, or by the time that energy's gone, or whatever. That is the caffeine addiction, leaving your body through a headache. And just like you're used to taking a Tylenol to kill a headache, well, you're more than happy to drink an energy drink to get rid of the headache. It's not a Tylenol. It's still feeding that caffeine addiction. If you go through the headaches and you know that you're pushing caffeine addiction out, you're going to feel headaches. It's just the way it goes. That's the addiction leaving your body, as I understand it. And when you do stay logical with yourself that you're doing that and you push that caffeine addiction out, you can still have caffeine, but you yourself educate yourself about caffeine. But ultimately, it requires you to know about your food, because you still need energy. When you can find the willpower to eat the food for your energy and put down that energy drink, the quality of your energy is going to increase significantly, and therefore, so will your productivity, due to your clarity and your own personal care to your own physical health. But if you wait for the FDA to take energy drinks and drop the caffeine levels and stuff, fucking forget it. They're not going to take care of our health. They are going to take care of their finance like a bunch of fucking drug dealers that they are. And you cannot admit that because you're all right with all that shit, and I got rid of every one of these addictions. So I know why you're judging me. And that goes into why I don't want to talk to you about it. But it's fucking real, and you just got to accept it. Or not. Live however you want. Pound them back. It's your health. And your quality of energy, and your quality of thought, and your quality of action. It's who you are. So, do whatever you want. I'm not drinking them. And I have people in my life that drink them, and I wish they'd get off them, and I don't even bother saying anything to them because they're not going to listen to me, and I know why. So, give her. I'm starting to get worked up, so I'm going to talk to you about how I use coffee now rather than abuse coffee, and I want to talk a bit about it. Coffee is one of those things. If you have a healthy amount of it and you don't pound it with sugar and cream, it is actually healthy for your liver in proper amounts. That's why you want coffee and stuff like that when you have a hangover, right? Because it's trying to take care of your liver, and it does. But not if you pound sugar and cream into it. So if you drink coffee black and it has a healthy amount of caffeine in it, it can actually be healthy for you. It does give you the burst, and you will feel a downer if you take in too much caffeine through your coffee. But you can also have one good cup of coffee in the morning with food to get you going, and then rely on your food energy. I still don't suggest you get up in the morning and have an energy drink with food and get going. But an averagely made coffee, if you like some sweetener and stuff, you're not me, but be reasonable. And if you know you're putting too much in, start cutting back. Get yourself used to it. If you're putting 2 teaspoons of sugar in, put 1 in for the next 2 months. You'll get used to it. Almost like your body takes 2 hours to realize you gave it garbage. Well, if you can stick to that for about 2 months, you might even be able to go down to none. But you can't expect yourself to go from 2 to none if you really enjoy the 2. because then you're drinking a cup that you don't enjoy. And you're not going to drink it if you don't enjoy it. But you yourself have to do the work to wean yourself down and retrain your palate. Nobody else is putting it in your mouth. You're not telling somebody else to just get you whatever coffee you want. You're getting it very specifically to your preference, logically. And you should. So just be smart, because it's your health. I haven't put anything in my coffee in a long time. But even when I was drinking, I don't know, maybe about 5 cups a day, I was still drinking a black van. And you can go and get a coffee that is very harmful to your health, and you can get one that's okay, like I said, depending on how you create it. And this is how I now use coffee. I get up in the morning and I want to make sure I have a good sized cup of coffee, but I also have a very healthy breakfast with it. That gives me a big boost. And now, remember how I said I'm hungry every night when I go to bed because I don't eat late? That's true. And sometimes I'm up for like another 8 to 10 hours after my last meal and I won't eat. Right? Well, if I'm up another 4 hours and then I know I'm going to be up for about another 4 hours, well, I'll have a small cup of coffee then. Not a full one, just a little one. And that does give me a little bit of a false energy burst from the caffeine. There's no food involved and there's no calories involved, but there is an energy burst involved. I'm already healthy because I already ate all the right stuff all day. It stops me from eating something I don't need or extra calories for that energy that late at night. So I save the food for another time. I save the calories, but I still get the energy. And I still get the crash. So, logistically, when the crash happens and all my energy is used up, by the time I lay down, there's no trouble getting to sleep. But you could see how I use caffeine in that way. I understand caffeine, and so I just use it in a healthy manner. It kickstarts my day, and a lot of times it gets me over the hump of the end of my evening because I don't want to eat. Because I don't need food energy at that point. I just need to get a little bit further, and the coffee can do that for me. It gives me that little burst. And then when it crashes and I need a rest, it's time for bed anyway. I do understand that you intuitionally and intelligently understand all of that information. Use it how you will, or don't at this point. But thanks again to those that have been able to take my information seriously and apply it to their own lives. I am ultimately trying to help everybody be healthier due to my efforts. But tengo que ir. Dormir bien y siéntete bien hoy. Paz, amor y positividad a todos. Muchas gracias a Dios de nuevo. Los amo a todos. Te veo pronto, amigos. Adiós.